Last night, the Canadiens were in Seattle for their final game of the Western road trip. Jakub Dobes is looking to make it 6 wins in a row. Nick Suzuki's looking to keep that point streak alive. He's been on fire. But most importantly, this is what it's all about right here. First place in the Atlantic Division is still up for grabs. Now, this game review is brought to you by the good folks over at Miraj Trading. And if you consider yourself somewhat of a collector, if you like to hide away from the wife from time to time, and splurge on a hobby box, well, there's no better place to keep your secrets than right here at MirageTrading.com. They got a huge selection to choose from. They got this nice little point system where you can earn points with every purchase. And you can find all the links for Miraj in the description of today's video. Now here we go. Habs. Kraken. The puck is dropped. And believe me when I say, there wasn't really a whole lot of excitement at the beginning of this hockey game. My God, the first 10 minutes felt like I was doing a Wemyss course. But just over the midway mark in the first period, Cole Caufield, our little bundle of joy, he gets the party started with his 8th goal of this season. That's a big one. Nick Suzuki's going to pick up an assist on this one, which means he's on a 9-game point streak right now. And it was from this point forward where that top line, they just started dominating the Kraken every time they were on the ice. Holy shit. Miraj Slavkovsky, what a game. He was such a handful to deal with. He kind of looked like a man amongst boys out there, and the only way you could stop him was by taking a penalty, which is exactly what Lindgren did right here, and guess what? When the Canadiens' new top power play unit gets set up, it's going to be Slavkovsky who makes him pay. So that's 2 goals for the Canadiens in just 6 shots. And even though the Kraken, they're trying to get back into this one before the first period comes to an end, Jakub Dobes, he wasn't having none of it. So now we're going to move on to the second period, where once again, it's the Canadiens' top line that continues to dominate. And man, what a treat this is for Habs fans. What a treat to finally have a top line that can just take over a hockey game. It looked like for 2 straight periods, they were just toying with them. It looks like they're on a whole different level or something. And even though they get really close to making it a 3-goal game, okay, Nick Suzuki even rips one off the post at one point, the Kraken, with their butt cheeks clenched, they keep it interesting. And the second period is a scoreless one, which brings us to the final 20 minutes. Come on, boys. All you got to do now is just shut her down. We got it. Right? You see, when the third period begins, for the very first time in this hockey game, the Kraken, they start getting a couple of nice opportunities. But when Jaden Schwartz picks up a 2-minute minor for tripping in the offensive zone, it goes from bad to worse for Seattle, okay? Because not only does Alex Newhook make it a 3-goal game on the power play, but to be completely honest, I didn't really like that call. I didn't like it to begin with. I don't think this was a pick. I think Hudson went down a little easy. I think Schwartz's stick just pretty much touched him, which really sucks for Seattle fans, especially at this point in the hockey game, because now the Canadiens got a 3-goal lead. And I mean, that's a pretty big hill to climb at this point. It's not good. The Kraken are even tripping up on themselves out there. It's kind of funny. But when Jaden Struble takes a penalty for hooking in a spot where you're not supposed to be taking penalties, Mr. Jaden Struble, an opportunity presents itself, and Brandon Montour opens the floodgates for the Seattle Kraken on the power play with a big goal. Now we got a 3-1 game. A couple of minutes later, we get a peculiar situation behind the Kraken net when a few of their players team up on Kirby Dach after a hit that they didn't like. Look at them. They're everywhere on him, man. It's like he teabagged a hornet's nest. For some reason, the ref decides to take 2 of them. We get a little 4-on-4 action. And after some more Seattle pressure, it's public enemy number 1, Brandon Montour again, who sets up Shane Wright, and the Kraken are right back in it. It's a 3-2 game. They just need 1 more goal. And I was thinking, please don't do this to me. It's already after 2 a.m. in Newfoundland. Just let me be happy, please. And with just under 2 minutes remaining, you knew it was coming. The net was empty. And of course, it's got to be Brandon, once again, who continues to kill the Montreal Canadiens. Wow, we got a tie game. And you know what that means. I mean, this game is headed into overtime after blowing a 3-goal lead. But you know what? I'm just going to put it out there. I've never been as confident in a Habs team as I am right now when the game is headed into overtime. I mean, they got so many players that can end it. Yeah, I just watched them blow a lead in regulation, but I was still confident heading into overtime. And here we go. It doesn't even take a minute for the bundle of joy to make himself a highlight reel. Holy smokes. The hands on him. That was pretty dirty. Believe it or not, in his short career, that's already his 11th overtime goal, which does set a franchise record for the Montreal Canadiens. And the boys, they go on to defeat the Seattle Kraken by a score of 4-3. And I know it wasn't pretty. I know when you see him up by a few goals, you'd like to see him lock it down and win it, convincingly. But still, you got to be proud of him. You got to be proud of him right now because they just wrapped up a 4-game Western road trip and they picked up 6 out of a possible 8 points. Is that something? I mean, they never do that. They never do that well at West. And the only game that they lost was against the Edmonton Oilers. And in my opinion, that was probably the best game that they played of this entire trip. What a team. They keep finding ways to win. There's just so much to be happy about right now. They're right back on top in the Atlantic Division. And their next game is on Saturday night against the Ottawa Senators. There's going to be a lot of eyes on that one. But I mean, if we take a look at this Canadian schedule coming up right now, 8 games out of their next 10 are actually going to be at home. So they're going to be spending a lot of time at the Bell Center, which is nice to see. And if they could keep it up, if they could keep playing the way that they've been playing, come on. I think they're going to do just fine. So let's take a quick look at some of the players that have just been on fire lately. Starting at the top and starting with the captain. Nick Suzuki's 3 points last night puts him at 16. He's got 16 points in 11 games right now, which is just unbelievable. Our little bundle of joy, he's got himself 9 goals in his first 11 games. Tied for first in the National Hockey League. Jakub Dobes, even though he probably wanted 1 or 2 of those back last night, still, I mean, he's winning games. I mean, he's won every game that he's played so far. That's his 6th win of the season. And how about the play of young Miraj Slavkovsky last night? Man, listen, I thought that was his best game of the season so far. I thought he looked great. He's got 6 points in 11 games so far. And I mean, he's not the kind of guy that's gonna wow you with points anyway, yet. But probably due to his big size, everybody tends to forget that he's just a pup. He's just 21 years old. And right now, he's on pace to crush his goal totals from last season. So let's just hope the young man can keep it up. He's been a really nice compliment to that top line, but that's going to do it for today's video. You can let me know your thoughts on this one down in the comments section. Let me know how you're feeling about this 4-game Western road trip, which was pretty impressive. Yeah, they do got some stuff to clean up, but they got a few days to figure it out now. Don't forget to give that like button a drop kick on the way out of here. And hey, I'll see you next time.